Let's get straight to the point. This is my analysis of my set with Kendrick at Mid-Year Smash. The main points I want to focus on in this analysis are how I managed to lose neutral, and what the recurring interactions are in the neutral game. So before we get into this analysis, I'd like to preface this by explaining the two laws by which neutral should be understood. And I have everything. I watched the set once before, and I have everything written down so I know what to talk about. The first law of neutral is that when both players are standing close to each other, neither player should react to each other, should be able to react to the other. This is around, say, a Samus grab away or a Belmont F tilt away for visualization purposes. And what this means is that because each player would stand at this distance, or should stand at this distance, options or sequences of options have to be chosen by both players preemptively. The second law of neutral is that each option or move in the game is vulnerable in some way and is thus open to counterplay from the opponent. Because of these two laws, neutral game is played and won by guessing correctly what your opponent wants to do and by choosing an option that counters it. That having been said, I feel like a lot of the hits that I end up getting in this match are not due to me guessing what Kendrick has been doing correctly. Such is the case with this first grab. It's kind of just a random, I'm going to start off the match just running and grab. I don't get much off of it.
However, I think that is being like too much of a flow.
Okay, so in this moment right here, well, this is kind of why I don't really like reviewing Facebook VODs because it takes so long to rewatch everything. I underestimate the amount of lag that Ness's neutral air has, and I try to whiff punish the second one with a dash attack. I end up getting caught by it. Kendrick commits to reading shield and grabs, as he often does when he hits an air, and he converts. Okay, so I'm going to look for an example of where you should be standing in neutral. This is about the distance that you should stand from your opponent. Like, let's say, right... Let's just watch that again. Right around there is where you should be standing so that your opponent can't react to you. Once you're in this distance, you pick an option, and if you guessed correctly, you win. That's, I think, how neutral should be thought about. And thinking about neutral in this way makes adaptations, conscious adaptations, much easier and less mentally taxing. It also is much quicker than intuitive adaptation. You might adapt to someone's playstyle over the course of 5 games or an hour of friendlies, but if you think about neutral consciously, applying these two laws, you can make key adaptations in the span of a stock or two. So that's why I think it's important to think about neutral in this way. So we're going to try to apply that framework to my set with Kendrick.
It's a good match right here, but you know, he just made neutral to one.
Okay, so I want to talk about this, how I got hit here.
It's gonna be hard to do the lightning loops.
If we rewatch that again, Kendrick does a double jump forward Psy Magnet into Nair.
It's a good match right here, but you know,
Kendrick likes to approach with Psy Magnet into aerial because Psy Magnet actually has a deceptive amount of range because it carries his forward momentum from the double jump, and so it has a lot more range than you think. So I get caught by this. Kendrick reads the shield again, and he grabs. I think it's a very common habit for people to shield against Nair. I mean, to shield after they get hit by Nair. just because they're in frame disadvantage and not familiar with the situation, myself included, which is how Kendrick gets this grab. That was a bad side B by me. Let's watch that again. The reason I say it's bad is because at this point, he can immediately react to the sound of my side B, and side B loses to a lot of things hitbox-wise. So Peachy's main options with side B, recovery, are to either hit the opponent or go for ledge. And most characters can cover both of these options with a single hitbox. This is what happens when Cyforce up Bs me and hits me.
Down B, it's very good, very fast.
Sad, he kind of misses the ledge trap here. I don't really deserve this grab, just like the one that I got at the start of the match. I didn't guess correctly, I just happened to punish an obvious mistake. So at this point, Kendrick has more deserved neutral wins than me.
Just shield grabbing it, because if you...
Okay, this is the first interaction where I feel like I earned the neutral win by guessing what Kendrick was going to do correctly. If we rewatch that again, I try to... So at this point, I'm thinking that Kendrick might go for a double jump rising fair, which he does, and I end up getting the out of shield punish. I wanted to catch his... I wanted to catch Kendrick trying to dip below the stage to recover, but he air dodges instead. This is something that I'm going to watch out for in future stocks in the set. Anyways, Kendrick unfortunately misses Sledge Trap again, he gets a random PK Fire. And again, he ends up catching me with an approaching Psy Magnet.
If you just hold shield, then like your shield will take considerable damage. You might even die from a shield.
Right here. Actually, let's watch that again.
Just shield grabbing it, because if you just hold shield, then like your shield will take considerable damage. You might even die from a shield.
I do believe I end up getting baited by this Nair, and I Nair out of shield instinctively, but because Ness has really good aerial drift, after an Nair, I can't whiff punish it out of shield. Kendrick preemptively punishes my out of shield. Or maybe he didn't plan this punish, but just wanted to approach. In any case, he won, because his option inherently beats mine. This is a tech that you should watch out for. This is a tech that you should try to get. Psy Magnet actually leads into a tech chase situation, and this is something that I discovered in friendlies, in online friendlies with Kendrick. If you miss this tech, Kendrick is really good at reacting with the down tilt reset. So I'm amazed that Kendrick is able to react to my tech in place. Again, I do another bad side B, and Kendrick catches it with PK Thunder 1 the exact same way. Good sharking, except for the fact that he didn't catch my drift back. Let's watch that again. So I can see why Kendrick likes going for this PK Flash. If I don't drift away from him, PK Flash basically beats air dodge, which I did here, and it beats an aerial that I try to land with. So it covers a lot of options. Now, you might notice top players drifting away after they get hit upwards, which is what I try to do here. And Kendrick doesn't end up reading my drift. I think it's actually better to see where your opponent drifts first, and then running under him. Like after Kendrick gets this PK Flash, he should run towards about here, and then wait until a point where I'm low enough such that I can't actually go anywhere by drifting. And then he should try to cover my options. Instead he goes for this up air, which didn't end up working out.
Does he get the upper follow-up? However, spot that jump smash.
I underestimate Nair's punishability on shield, and I get spot dodge up smash for it.
I can also with a PK flash. It's like
Okay.
he's more hesitant now to approach.
Because
I didn't really deserve that back air.
does he get the
I
upper
kind of
follow-up?
just reacted to
However, spot that
Kendrick
jump smash.
messing up.
I can also with a PK flash. It's like
Up until this point, I've only ever hit Kendrick once by correctly guessing what he was going to do.
he's more hesitant now
And so I need to work on guessing my opponent's options correctly.
to approach.
And I've thought about a way to practice this actually. In a friendlies match, the next time I'm going to play a friendlies match, I'm going to try to call out verbally what I think my opponent is going to do. That's going to help me consciously think about neutral and the options my opponent is selecting.
It received like a very,
So I'm not really sure what to say about this PK Thunder.
like
It's punishable, I guess.
low
I'm not sure I should have gone for this Thunder Jolt.
It's like he's more hesitant now to approach.
because like PK flash.
Let's watch that again.
It received like a very like
Punish the PK Thunder. And I feel like right here, it's a 50-50. It should be a 50-50 between me running off the ledge and then double jump fairing, or me running off ledge and then double jumping back to stage to bait the air dodge. If I guess what Kendrick is going to do correctly here, he's going to be off stage without a double jump, and it's an easy spike from there. Or in the case of fair, I don't think he'll be able to get back to the stage. So this is a situation I feel like I should explore more in friendlies. Next time I play on NES, I'm going to watch out for this.
low and land now, so basically.
Okay, I get the out of shield punish.
Good sequence there from the Junkyarddude, but now he might be off stage. Oh!
Okay,
For now,
Kendrick
it's
does some
going
option coverage. I do another bad side B.
PK Thunder, low and land now, so basically.
I feel like Kendrick should be punishing this harder, but he commits to the PK Thunder 1 before I side B. But if you see your opponent has a habit of side Bing as Pikachu or Pichu, then it might be optimal to just go out there and spike them. I like doing that. Option coverage.
Wow, here it is.
No! That's not how you do
Sadness.
it.
Two stock lead,
Two stock lead.
Okay.
Getting that PK pulse because.
Have he really?
You notice Kendrick likes to go for these aerials after he does the side magnet.
Turn that
Yeah.
Not very many people are comfortable with dealing with it.
Two stock lead,
Two stock lead.
So that's something that I have to find some solutions for.
really turned that
Yeah, because PK pulse doesn't disappear after you attack this. It's still there.
He gets the ledge trap.
Like, there will
Wait,
be
I need to rewatch this for my own sake. How did I get hit here? I can't. I wasn't paying attention.
because PK pulse doesn't.
Yeah, it was another side magnet. Usually, in a match, there are a handful of recurring interactions that you lose to over and over. In this case, I think it was in the case of the set, I think it was approaching side magnet and approaching Nair. Not really approaching Nair, but Kendrick preemptively throwing out a Nair to beat my approach.
Getting that PK pulse because.
I think there's an example of that coming up. Here we go. Well, not really.
Because PK pulse doesn't disappear after you attack this. It's still there.
Yeah.
Like, there will be an explosion.
I think that's what all happens with these Cypher's games, man. He always gets these PK Thunder 2. These PK flash. But those plays already had it.
Okay.
It's still there.
Yeah.
I feel like this is
There will be an explosion.
one of the few times I guess what Kendrick is going to do correctly.
He always gets these PK Thunder 2s.
I read his movement forward, and then I fair him preemptively, and it ends up working out.
Wait, should I really go in? Should I not? And it's that discrepancy that causes a lot of.
Oh, there's some lag.
God backer. Nice edge guard.
Well, I get the punish off of that fair, so I guess it works out.
Wait, those players already hesitant. They're like, wait, should I really go in? Should I not? And it's that discrepancy that causes a lot of Cyphers.
God backer.
Luke was trying to say something here. I actually ended up getting a back air off stage on Kendrick while he was trying to recover. And the mix-up that he's trying to explain here
Nice edge guard.
is that Pichu can either go for all 6 hits of a back air, or he can go for 5 and fast fall. You'll have to tech against the stage if he goes for 6 hits, but if he goes for 5 hits and the opponent attempts to tech, he'll end up doing an air dodge. That's what happened here. That's why Kendrick randomly air dodged. I'm not sure if it's something you can react to, but nonetheless, it makes recovering off stage against Pichu that much harder. This seems to be a recurring situation in the match, actually. Kendrick runs up and nair, runs up and nairs, and I run in with shield. I feel like this is the first time that I beat Kendrick as he selects this option. I get 7% for it, cool. Well, one lightning loop, I guess I'll have to settle for that. I feel like running shield has been putting in a lot of work for me this game, and this tournament really, I think. It allowed me to win against this bear. I don't really feel like I intended for it to beat an option, I just wanted to enter unreactable threat range safely and at the right spacing. But it ended up beating this back air, and so I reacted to it with a shield grab. But up to now, I feel like I don't deserve the majority of neutral wins or of hits that I get against Kendrick. So that's something I need to work on. I usually have this habit of trying to catch people's landings with up tilt because it's fairly high priority. Pichu's up tilt has a fairly good amount of priority, but Ness's disjointed dare ends up trading with it. Or beating it outright, okay. I feel like against any other character that would have worked, but that's something I need to keep in mind. Yeah, running shield really has been putting in work for me. Because right here, it let me beat Kendrick's walling nair. Like, rising short hop defensive nair. Right there. And so I feel like, so far, the two common interactions we've seen are approaching side magnet, me losing to approaching side magnet, and me winning with running shield. Usually, in any given set, because there are only a certain amount of interactions that repeat themselves, if a player makes a key adaptation that the other player doesn't respond to with a counter adaptation, that can really swing the game. So I feel like I'm going to have to find several solutions to Kendrick's side magnet. That's something I'm going to have to lab out. Okay, here's a prime example of what happens when you try to play neutral from outside the range at which your opponent can't react to you. So, look at how far away I do this fair from. Kendrick has all the time in the world to react to my movement forward, and he ends up getting the shield grab for it. I'm not close enough that I can do this fair without Kendrick reacting to me. It's like outside of like a Belmont's F-tilt range. So I do it from too far, Kendrick reacts to it, gets the back throw. That's something that I've gotten a bit better with recently. I try to focus on staying close to my opponent.
But yeah, that edge guard really kind of seals the deal there with that stuff.
But when you're outside of that range and you pick an option, your opponent can simply react to it. This is how a lot of stand back and dash attack max, as I like to call them, lose online because they try to dash at you from way too far away. If you can imagine that.
What do you think Junkyarddude should do in this game, except for more precise edge guarding?
So Junkyarddude, one less weakness. Subtract tools to like.
We should probably talk about why I like FD so much in this matchup too. Reason is simple. You can do lightning loops without interference from platforms. So if I manage to get a lightning loop off, it's gonna be much more rewarding for me because I won't have to deal with platforms.
Of Cyphers because Pichu Nair is very fast.
Wait, are we still doing winner's pick?
Those two pick.
This is the first double jump fair that Kendrick's done this set, and I really wasn't expecting it.
Catch the approaches,
So that's good on him to mix
of,
up his options.
Cyphers because Pichu Nair is very fast.
Wait, are we still doing winner's pick?
Those two pick.
Alright.
That doesn't exist. That doesn't
Okay.
exist. So yeah, like the loops, not effective.
Optimal
That
punish.
was disastrous.
Kendrick doesn't quite get the ledge shot.
So yeah, like the
And I feel like Kendrick is also winning punish game. He's doing more damaging combos to me than I am to him.
that doesn't
On top of him
So yeah,
winning
like,
neutral
not
more
effective.
often than I am.
That was disastrous.
Whoa, it's random.
So yeah, lightning loops are apparently aren't effective. versus-
Let's watch that again.
So yeah, lightning loops not effective. That DI was disastrous.
Whoa, it's random.
So
Oftentimes, I like to run in because that's how most of Pichu's better options start, such as fair, down tilt, F tilt. You kind of have to run in before you do them. And Kendrick is catching me before I choose to do one of these options by nairing me first.
lightning loops are
That's how I'm... That explains how I'm losing to the nair.
apparently aren't effective. versus-
I already have one option in mind that beats nair. If I approach with a fair, an immediate fair, then I would actually end up hitting the tip
fast followers and
or the
headers
top
to,
of Ness's head.
shout out to Facebook
I think
comments.
there's an example of
But then
this
again, oh,
That's-
Cypher,
that's
one
it.
time in the
It's
match
really good change.
somewhere.
And Junkyarddude is not really like, he's just reacting to his will. He's not really changing it up.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Cypher.
Okay, this is a...
Oh,
That's-
Cypher
that's
keeps getting
dead.
these
Let's
really
rewatch
good
that.
chains.
Yeah.
And Junkyarddude is not really like, he's just reacting to
Kendrick fairs me preemptively, which is
his
good
will.
on
He's
him
not really
to guess what I'm gonna do.
changing it up.
This is a good fair by me, actually.
Comments.
But then again, oh, Cypher
that's
keeps getting
dead.
these really good chains.
Let's talk
And
about this.
Junkyarddude is not really like, he's just reacting
So he
to
gets
his
the
will.
fair.
He's not really changing it up.
And I predict that Kendrick is gonna dash back here. So notice how far forward I run to catch his dash back.
Yeah.
This is this is referred to as overshooting a move, like aiming behind them
But
so
then
that you
again,
can catch
oh,
them
Cypher
moving
keeps
backwards.
getting these really good chains.
Yeah.
And Junkyarddude is not really like, he's just reacting to his will. He's not really changing
Let's
it up.
watch that one more time.
Yeah.
Clean. This second flare though, not so clean.
So Cypher's up a whole stop.
Cyforce ends up reacting to it, gets a punish,
Guys get up with that.
doesn't guess that I'm going to get up attack.
Changing it up.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Cypher's up a whole stop. versus Junkyarddude.
It's kind of frustrating to have to watch 10 seconds of a match every time. I really prefer YouTube.
Guys get up with that.
I like this dash attack cross up on shield. I've been using it a lot recently.
And
Huh, this is the first time that I actually win against Side Magnet.
So Cypher's up a whole stop. versus Junkyarddude.
This is the first time that I end up picking an option
Guys get up with that.
that beats Side Magnet. So let's watch that again. I don't know why I chose to run in and shield. It probably was instinctive. I wasn't planning to beat the Side Magnet, but I end up getting the reaction. So that's
I
good.
think beating Cypher is a matter of knowing what to
So running shield really has been putting in work for me.
respect and knowing what not to respect.
There's like a lot of boosts.
Oh, sad.
Grab. Ooh, like good job.
Wait, I need to rewatch that. I wasn't paying attention.
I think beating Cypher is a matter of knowing what to respect.
Hmm.
versus Junkyarddude. Alright. Guys get up with that.
And
Okay.
I think beating Cypher is a matter of
Huh. That's the first time he's nared out of shield. And I've gotten hit by it.
knowing what to
But I feel like it's similar to the example where he runs up to me and does it.
respect and knowing what not to respect.
There's like a lot of boosts.
Kendrick gets the
Grab.
ledge trap.
Ooh, like good job holding away.
But he's still in the
Ledge
leg.
trapping.
Shield.
Misses it. I really wasn't expecting down smash to have that little and leg.
Ooh,
So,
the punish. Yeah. Oh,
I get
good
punished for
guy.
that.
Okay, yeah, Junkyarddude definitely not
Hmm.
expecting the back throw. he thought he would like punish the down smash. However,
Huh, that's cool.
No punish.
yeah. Oh, the DI.
Excuse
yeah,
me?
Junkyarddude definitely not expecting
What I was looking at was
the back
how
throw.
I chose
He
to
thought he
full
would, like,
hop to
punish
approach Kendrick
the
to hit him at an angle where his neutral air doesn't connect to me. That's, I think, pretty good instinctive adaptation from me.
down smash. However, the down
Cool.
smash is like deceptive.
This is the fair that I was trying to get to, that I was trying to hit last game, because I noticed Kendrick likes to jump out of corner,
Please.
like to full hop.
Okay, yeah, Junkyarddude definitely
He likes to
not
full
expecting
hop
the back
out of
throw.
corner,
He thought he would like punish the down
so
smash. However,
I try
down
to
smash
go for a full hop fair preemptively, and I guessed
is
correctly.
like deceptively fast.
Yeah.
Oh, but guys, the down jump.
Okay,
A smash?
good punish. Let's watch
Down
that
smash,
again.
However, the down smash
Yeah, let's talk about
is
the
like
punish.
deceptively fast.
So I predicted that Kendrick is going to go for a double jump aerial, and I F tilt preemptively to trade
but
with
not
it,
expecting the back throw. He thought he would like punish
but it
the
ends up beating
down
his
smash.
up air clean.
However, the down
So
smash is like
that's cool.
deceptively fast.
Yeah.
And then I think Kendrick thinks that I'm going to go for a chase down off stage, so we up these immediately. If I chose to double jump out and try to hit him with a fair here, I think I would have missed it. And I think that that's probably what most players would do in this situation, which is why Kendrick chooses to up B immediately. He doesn't exactly angle it correctly, I guess. Maybe it's hard to hit ledge. I don't know. I end up getting the reaction, so that was good. Good punish.
Can he make this comeback? I'm not even sure. He hasn't been landing any
Approaching side magnet ends up absorbing my T-Jalt. That's pretty
really
funny.
good like sequences lately.
It's definitely possible.
Okay.
Like P2, kind of pretty
I tried to go for the same full hop here
combos.
to beat Nair.
I'm not even sure.
It doesn't work out
He
so
hasn't
well.
been landing any
I
really
kind of
good,
mistimed
like,
it,
sequences
but that's
lately.
okay.
It's definitely possible. Like P2, kind of pretty explosive in terms of combos. If you can get like down tilt.
Okay, so
I'm not even sure.
right
He hasn't been
here,
landing any really good,
the the Nair interaction happens again, where I try to run up with an overshot move,
Like P2,
and Kendrick nairs me
kind of
for
pretty
it.
explosive in terms of combos.
I'm pretty sure this is, if we rewatch it, we'll see that this is like the 4th or 5th time that this has happened. And I've already thought of a solution. Like I was saying, I could approach with an earlier fair.
Can get like down tilts, up tilts.
but he's having a hard
Kendrick
time
gets the
progressing.
tech chase, somewhat. I miss the punish on down smash.
No,
He
no,
FPs,
Guys, conference side
and I
for
get
the
styled
game.
on. So that's the game.
Oh, wow.
BK son, BK son.
And I hope that was helpful. I might have missed something, but I did write down everything that I wanted to talk about. Hopefully I remember to say all of it during the game. Well, I guess that's it. We'll stop here.